a sport that has spanned the ages. Track and field athletes were the first to grace Olympic glory and are mentioned in history's annals. It is a sport that features amazing individual effort, but it is a team title that all seek. These athletes have known Olympic glory and national titles. Today, they will run, throw, jump, and stretch to see that elusive prize, a Pac-10 title. Welcome to the Pac-10 Track and Field Championships, coming your way next.
We come to you today from the campus of the University of California at Berkeley. We're the very best in the Pac-10 Conference, so the stars today in one of college's premier track and field events as it plays the oldest track-only venue in America, Edwards Stadium. It's an individual sport that today is all about the team. And we welcome you to the University of California campus here in Berkeley and the 2010 Pac-10 Track and Field Championships. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. Looking forward to another great meet. This one always seems to have not only great marks, but also a lot of surprises. And I've got a lot of experts alongside for commentary. Joining me on the sprints, Olympic gold medalist Joanna Hayes. And Joanna, you performed in this meet before. Talk a little bit about the significance of the championships to the athletes we're going to be watching today.
Barry, this conference is truly the Conference of Champions. I know that competing here, you know you're going to have some serious competition, and I like to call it sort of a prerequisite to the NCAAs and the Olympic Games, knowing that if you compete well here, it's only the beginning.
All right, you're watching the sprints with me and the hurdles. Let's talk about some of the people that we're going to be seeing today.
Well, Joey Hughes, a sophomore out of USC, is going to be all over the place today in 4 events, both relays, the 400 and the 200, and he is the favorite in the 400, having gone 45-37 this year, which puts him at 4th in the NCAAs.
Joshua Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. Joshua Anderson is a junior out of Washington State, and already he's the 2-time defending Pac-10 and national champion, and he's gone 49-11 so far this season. And on the women's side, we've got another hurdler in Turquoise Thompson, who is a freshman and has already gone 57-11 to lead the Pac-10, and she did it in only her second race of the season last weekend.
You know, I think the interesting thing, too, all those people that you talked about are going to be challenged in their events. That's the thing that's really good about this event. And we talk about the fact we've got plenty of experts. Here's a guy who knows more about this sport than anybody I've ever been around, and I mean it. Tom Fuhrer, of course, track and field expert. And Tom, we have a tendency, I think, as broadcasters to overuse the word dynasty, but yet when I think of Oregon and what Oregon has done track and field, that's the word that comes first to mind.
Without a doubt, Barry, Oregon this year is led by maybe the one-man team in track and field. His name is Ashton Eaton, and he won the decathlon in the Pac-10 for the 3rd consecutive year. He's entered in 5 events in this meet, 3 individual events, 2 relays. Now, yesterday, to show his competitive mettle, he won the long jump on his very last attempt by 1 centimeter over USC's Brendan Ames. Now, Andrew Wheating, he and Eaton are both seniors. He's the inspirational leader of the team. He leads a tremendous middle distance corps. He's a 2008 Olympian and one of the top individual athletes in this meet.
And what about the women? I mean, they're just as strong there.
Good gosh, Barry. The Oregon women's team, they have competitors in all 14 events today, and they set 4 school records on the very first day. It's an incredible powerhouse.
No question about it. Well, this is an event, that really, for all intent, is 2 weeks long. Started last week with the decathlon and the heptathlon. We did have some finals yesterday as well in what normally is a day of heat. So here's where we stand now in the Pac-10 championships on both the men's and women's side. On the women's side, Arizona with the lead right now with 76 points. Oregon, though, is right there at 66. And look for Oregon, of course, to make a big move because, as Tom mentioned, they are in all 14 events. On the men's side, Oregon with a commanding lead right now, and there's no reason to think that that's going to shrink at all. So we're really kind of looking at who might be chasing Oregon. And we're looking, of course, at a lot of the individual events, too. We're going to begin with the women's 4x100-meter relay. Oregon and USC, the 2 power teams in this competition. They will be in lanes 5 and 6. And Oregon, of course, with Amber Purvis, she'll run the 2nd leg. Leisha Baker will run the 3rd leg. And those are the 2 legs to really watch. Yesterday in the heats, Amber Purvis just put some distance between Oregon and everybody else. So this, the 4x100 relay. USC and Oregon, the 2 teams to take a look at. We should point out that these competitors have kind of been made to wait because of us, because of television. And it is chilly here in Berkeley. there's a wind that could affect some of the running events and switches. There's no real telling where it's going to be or how much it's going to be. Right now, the flags down in the field are pretty calm. Oregon lane 5, SC lane 6. And they're off in the women's 4x100 and a very even start right now, still even as they get to the first turn. Oregon making up a little bit of the stagger now on the first pass, and this is something Oregon does very well. This is Amber Purvis running for Oregon, and Oregon, look at them make up all the stagger on USC immediately. Oregon with a commanding lead right now. Now the pass from Purvis to Baker on the third leg again. A perfect pass for the Ducks. So the Ducks will come to the anchor leg with a clear lead of about 10 yards. They come to the anchor, and here is Youngblood running for Oregon, and this is going to be a walk-away win for the Oregon Ducks. Extremely impressive, and just playing to exactly what Tom Fuhrer told you in the open, the power of the Oregon Duck women. 43-27, the winning time.
And you know, Barry, USC took themselves right out of the competitiveness of this relay in their first exchange. It was a terrible handoff, and Oregon had a smooth handoffs all the way around, and they had a smooth race, and that's why they are the Pac-10 champions.
All right, we're going to get another chance to look at it. Here's what you're talking about, Joanna. And here's the second and third, and Oregon we watched them in the heats yesterday, just tremendous.
Yeah, they're smooth. They're ready to run. They wanted to win this, and they took no prisoners, and they ran away with this.
All right, so our first event is in the books, and it goes as expected. It was supposed to be actually more competitive than that. Oregon runs away from USC in the women's 4x1 relay.
West Coast Appeal is having the 50-yard line in the backyard of the entertainment capital of the world.
Where the Field of Dreams is an environment on and off the field.
It's the sounds of the crowd echoing off Puget Sound.
Where the sun shines, no matter what the score. West Coast Appeal has center court in the center of the technology universe.
We welcome you back to the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'd love to tell you it's beautiful summer, balmy weather, but it isn't. It's cold and crisp and overcast here in the Bay Area on this day. We're at Edwards Stadium. We talked about the history of this place and how terrific it is, and with more on that, I can introduce the fourth member of our broadcast team. Here's Krista Blunt. Krista.
Thanks, Barry. Yeah, you know, these athletes here today would love to go into the record books with all the greats who have competed here at historic Edwards Stadium. This facility opened back in 1932 and was the only stadium in the world that was built specifically just for track and field use, and it has played host to Olympians and world record holders, to the likes of Jesse Owens. He actually ran here. Also, Jim Ryan was someone who ran here and also had the world record in the mile back in 1966. Evelyn Ashford, former UCLA Bruin, she also competed here. And Joanna, I think you know a little something about this track.
Yeah, I did compete here in my sophomore year, except I did fall at hurdle 1 and the 400 hurdle, so I have a nice scar on my shin to remind me every day about this track.
Your memories are not exactly the same as Jim Ryan's.
No, but the track was fast, and I think I was too excited to get to that first hurdle, and this track boosted me there.
Jim Ryan broke the world's record in the mile here in that event that Krista was talking about back in 1966. Pat Natstorf set the world's high jump record here. In the meantime, we move to the men's 4x100 relay. This should be a very competitive event. USC probably a slight favorite, although UCLA beat them in dual meet down in Los Angeles. So UCLA can compete. Fastest qualifying time, actually, that of Washington State. Washington State in lane number 5, and Arizona State very talented. But there's some question about who they might run in this event today. Oregon, they qualified at 40.57, so it's going to be Arizona in lane 1, Arizona State next to them, lane 2, UCLA lane 3, Stanford will be in lane 4, Washington State in lane 5, and then it's Oregon, USC to the outside lane 7, and Washington in the outside lane. Probably want to look for lanes 2, 3, and 7 perhaps. And I wouldn't rule Washington State out of this completely either.
You know, it's going to be tough. This is not going to be like the women's 4x1. So I think that I really just want to see a good, clean handoffs all the way around. And I think UCLA will be competitive, but they are in an inside lane. It's a little bit tougher when you're inside.
I think that's what's going to be the difference, though, and you touched upon it, is the handoffs. And isn't it always in this event?
Absolutely. You don't always have to have the 4 fastest, but you need to be the cleanest.
So the runners now come to their marks. USC lane 7, ASU lane 2, UCLA lane 3. And as we said, Washington State in lane 5 qualified faster than anybody else. Runners just kind of settling in. Underway in the men's 4x100. Oregon making up a little bit of a stagger, and so too in lane 1 is Arizona. First pass, and it looks like Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC now making it up. Now it is USC. Third leg, it's USC with the first pass. And UCLA making a big move inside. It's USC, Washington, and UCLA. SC makes the first pass to UCLA, a better pass. UCLA on the lead, SC is second, Washington State in third. Here's UCLA coming to the finish line. It's going to be the Bruins that win it, backing up that win they had in the dual meet. Washington State anchorman pulls up and falls down, but it was UCLA, USC, and Washington State. And a man down on the track. Smith on the anchor leg for UCLA. It was on the last pass.
Yeah, he's reaching, he's waiting. It looks like he may have left early, and then he misses his hand, and it just is terrible. That's worse than the USC women's pass. Once again, if you don't get these crisp passes, you cannot win in a field that is this competitive. Yeah, it looks like he left a little early because Ashton Eaton should have absolutely been able to catch him.
And at the end, you can see Murray of Washington State getting there in time for third, but then pulling up. Marlon Murray was the guy who pulled up, and he's being helped off the field right now. UCLA wins it, backs up its win in the dual meet. So the Bruins, the champions in the 4x100 relay. We're coming back.
Think about it. If you're buried up to your neck in debt, it can feel like creditors are trying to whack you on the head. Ouch. Whether you're in a financial hole or just want to get a loan, a better interest rate, or a new job, you're at the mercy of your credit score. That's why I went to freescore.com and found out my score for free.
Freescore.com gives you instant access to your complete credit profile from all 3 major credit bureaus. That means you'll get your 3 credit scores and reports all at freescore.com. That's important because your scores can change all the time. At freescore.com, you'll get unlimited around-the-clock access.
Remember, knowing your credit score could be the difference between being down there and being up here.
Find out your credit scores today at freescore.com.
Life costs more without Free Score.
Freescore.com.
Dodgertown, USA plays on Prime Ticket.
We welcome you back to Edwards Stadium here in Berkeley, and the Pac-10 men's and women's track and field championships. 2 4x100 relays are in the books, and here is the women's high jump from yesterday. This is Jasmine Day. Jasmine missed her first 3 attempts at 5'10", but then picked it up.
Yep, Sheldon Blockberger, who is the great coach at the University of Arizona, he had 3 in here, including Brigitte Barrett. She finished third. She's a freshman from New York, third in the NCAA Indoor Championships. Now, this is Brianne Tyson. She set her high jump personal best at the Pac-10 heptathlon last week, set another personal best in clearing 6 feet even. However, she went yet one more time over the bar at 6 feet 1 inch, and she finished second to Elizabeth Patterson of Arizona. Patterson, the NCAA indoor champ, second in the NCAA outdoors last year, had a beautiful clearance at 6 feet 1 inch. And so the Arizona jump machine, coached by Sheldon Blockberger, they went first with Patterson, third with Brigitte Barrett, and Brianne Tyson continued her role from winning the heptathlon last week with a second place finish.
Yeah, between Tyson and Eaton, I mean, does Vinland need anything else?
No, these multi-eventers can truly do multi-events.
Remarkable. We turn our attention now to the women's 1500, and Tom, I know you feel this is a very competitive race.
Without a doubt, and we have a couple of people that I think are going to really be interesting to see. Katie Follett of Washington, she is a senior from Fort Collins, the two-time Pac-10 champion, and we get our first look this year as a collegian of Jordan Hasse of Oregon, who was, everybody remembers, from making the Olympic trials final as a junior in high school in this event. Now, she is trying to peak for the World Junior Championships, and you see Follett out here. The conditions out here are a little breezy, and so the 1,500 meter runners, even for them, it's a little on the chilly side. But Follett, she is the two-time Pac-10 champ, and as we all know, and Joanna can attest to, the defending champions always love to repeat. Meanwhile, the Ducks have quite a few runners in here. Hasse is not just the only one. Alex Kaczynski, who traded the high school record with Jordan back when they were in high school, she's in here, as well as Zoe Buckman, who will run the 1,500 as well. So the Ducks have 3 in here, and we'll be interesting to see what kind of pace they run.
Yeah, the tactics of this race I think are going to be very interesting. Early on here, that is Katie Follett.
She went out to the lead also in her heat just to kind of get away from the pack. There are 12 runners in this race, and generally speaking, when you get to a conference championship like this, the running tends to be tactical, and due to the fact that the wind is so strong, nobody will really want to take this pace out aggressively. So it is really going to be, and it looks like Zoe Buckman, in fact, has taken the lead. Zoe is a senior from Canberra, Australia, and she is scheduled to come back and double in the 800, and that's Alex Kaczynski in third. They're squeezing Follett in second. Jordan Hasse is in fourth, Barry.
And then it's on back to Madeline Duhan of Stanford. Lisa Agami of Washington State, a dark horse in this race. Could jump up and do well here on the inside, running 5th right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. Agami has run very, very well. Now, I think it's interesting here. You see Follett boxed in. There are 3 Ducks right around her. One in front, one on the side, and one behind her, with Buckman doing a lot of the work. Now, they passed through in 1:12 for the first 400, a very, very conservative pace. And I just want to see very carefully how Follett plans on getting out of that box. Hasse looks very, very comfortable. She's grown a couple of inches since high school. She's got that long, long hair, which used to reach down to her, all the way down her backside, is now put in in braids and a ponytail.
Yeah, you don't want to run behind her. Get whipped. She's running in 4th place right now, and they still have Follett boxed in. And remember, even though this is an individual event, it is a team sport here.
Without a doubt, and Barry, looking back at that men's 4x100 relay, the Ducks really got hurt with a couple of those bad passes. They had projected to be maybe a 3-point favorite over USC today in that relay. Any one thing, and you saw Ashton Eaton's reaction on the backstretch. Darn it, because of that bad pass.
So Buckman still leading them through here. 2 laps to go in this race. Follett running 2nd.
One thing about the team race, too, the Ducks set a school record, and the 5th one they've set in this meet, in the 4x100 meter relay. When you're about ready to go out and run a 1,500, and you know your teammates have just won that 4x100 relay in such impressive fashion, that gives you a shot in the arm.
Carrie Hart has now moved up for Arizona State. She's running right now in 4th position, and running on the inside.
And your point about Agami, she's also moving up on the outside. Again, the pace is very, very conservative, so we've only lost about 3 of the runners. And again, if I'm Katie Follett, you've got to really be thinking about Buckman's got great 800 meter speed, and now Kaczynski moving out, Hasse moving out. Katie Follett does not want to be boxed in. As they come into the home stretch, they'll have 500 meters to go. So she's got to be very, very careful here.
Yeah, So it's Kaczynski in front, Hasse alongside her. Follett still running very conservative pace. She's back in third place, but has plenty of company. Igami alongside her.
And Follett is really boxed in. You know, you've got Hasse in front, Kaczynski second, and Buckman now moving up on the outside. And Katie Follett's really going to have to move here with 1 lap to go, which they hit the 1 lap to go in 3:12.6.
And she's got 3 Oregon runners in front of her. So it's the 3 Oregon runners. Right now it's Hasse on the lead. Buckman running second, Kaczynski third. Here comes Follett making her move around the turn. Now Follett coming up on the shoulder of Buckman, but she's going to stay back of Buckman for a moment at least.
She better get moving now because Buckman's got very good 800-meter speed. Buckman's a 2:05 800-meter runner.
And Buckman is now taking the lead over Hasse. Follett running third.
I'm very surprised because this is Buckman's third race of the meet. She did a lot of the early pace setting, and in this swirling wind, this is an impressive performance. But now we're going to really see what Jordan Hasse has. This is her first championship meet running for Oregon, and Buckman continues to stretch that lead. It looks like Follett may catch Jordan for second.
Yeah, it does look that way. Buckman looks like she has control of this race. Now Follett making a hard run. Will she be able to get there? Did not appear to be so. Buckman continues to run beautifully, and it's going to be Zoe Buckman and Follett. Follett coming up on Buckman's shoulder, and it's going to be close. And it is Buckman who just got there by a stride, maybe even less than a stride. Follett almost caught her as Buckman was celebrating.
That was really unusual. I don't know. Katie Follett is a very experienced runner, and I'm not sure what happened, why she left so much at the end. And as you can see in the Exmo replay here, Follett is just eating up ground, and you're going to see Buckman almost prematurely celebrating.
Yeah, it was close.
Very close.
So Buckman is the winner and ran a very intelligent race. Hasse finished in third place behind Follett. Follett made a late run, but it wasn't enough.
And maybe Krista can tell us if Zoe's going to come back and run the 800.
All right, here's Krista with the winner.
Well, Zoe, congratulations. A little closer than maybe you had thought there, but tell us a little bit about what was happening right at the end and when you felt you needed to make your move.
Well, I just went when I felt it was time to go, and I felt that I could go and keep running to the line. And I picked 300 meters to go, and I just remember the training that I've been doing, and just coming around at 200 to go, I just thought, aim to close in 30, and didn't think about what anyone else was doing, how fast they were running, just put my head in it, and didn't look back, and yeah, I felt strong enough to hold on. And then, yeah, Katie just popped up at the end, and she crossed the line. I thought, oh, God, I could have just really embarrassed myself if I put my hand up.
All right, well, Zoe, congratulations. I know you have other events today, so hopefully there's enough left in the tank for you.
Yeah, definitely. I want to come back and have a crack at defending my title in 800 meters. Yeah.
All right, Zoe, thanks again. Up to you, Barry.
All right, thanks very much. And gotta love the Aussies, don't you, Tom?
I love the accent.
Zoe Buckman is the winner. Katie Follett almost got there, but not quite. And Jordan Hasse of Oregon finishes in third place. Well, Tom, we're going to look at the men's pole vault.
Well, Barry, we always say that, we have such great competitors in the conference. This is one, Scott Roth. He's the U.S. leader at 18.9 1/4, and things look like they might be pretty good. He cleared 17.3 3/4 quite easily, although it took him his third attempt. But then he ran into trouble at 17.7 3/4. He had 3 misses here, and for a guy who has already jumped 18.9 1/4, that was definitely a disappointing performance. But all was not lost for the University of Washington. Pat Licari seems to develop new pole vaulters all the time. This is Ryan Vu, and Ryan Vu cleared 17.3 3/4, and then he moved on up. And but first, this is Brandon Estrada of USC. He took second place at that same 17.3 3/4. Last name may be familiar, his dad, Eric, an actor on the television series Chips. Now we see Vu again. On his first attempt at 17.7 3/4, the senior from Bellevue, Washington made it, and although the Huskies won, it may have been the guy that you least expected to do so. So they went 1-3, Brandon Estrada split them, and Pat Licari gets another Washington pole vault champion.
Well, that's the thing about this event, though. So when Roth went out and missed, the biggest cheerleader that Vu had was Roth.
Great point, Barry.
Turn our attention now to the men's 1500, and last year, of course, is one of the premier events in the Pac-10 championships, and so it is today.
I'll tell you what, last year, and we're going to see footage of that and here in a second. We had such a tremendous finish. And you can see Galen Rupp on the inside. He just recently ran the second fastest 10,000 meters in U.S. history. But there were 3 ducks running up against defending champion Garrett Heath. Now look, Andrew Wheating does another one of his patented Wheating kicks. It looks like there's no way it's going to be an Oregon sweep, but Wheating comes up on the inside, takes down defending champion Garrett Heath, and the Ducks at home went 1, 2, 3. On the inside, that's Matt Centrowitz, who will be back this year as a freshman. Rupp looking over, and Wheating with his hands held high. It was one of the most dramatic finishes I think we've ever seen in this conference, and the Duck crowd went berserk.
Well, and what better crowd is there than the crowd at Hayward
Nobody appreciates those middle distances quite like the crowd in Eugene. So we had 3 Oregon Ducks go 1, 2, 3 last year, and we got 4 of them running today, including the defending champion, Matty Centrowitz. You see him there. His father, also a great duck runner, former American record holder at 5,000 meters. Matt became the 29th Oregon runner to break 4 minutes last week. And so he is all set, ready to go. Coach Lanana said he's ready to go. And then A.J. Acosta, who is the freshman, he was second at the NCAA Indoor Championships. And then Mac Fleet was second at the NCAA Indoor Championships. He's the freshman. A.J. Acosta was 4th at the NCAA Indoor Championships, and Coach Lanana put him out there in the steeple yesterday, and he got a 42nd personal best to take 4th, and those points may really help the Ducks for this team title.
And a couple of other people to watch too. Marlon Patterson of UCLA. Could be a spoiler potentially, and Abdi Hassan of Arizona had a PR yesterday.
And Barry, the tactics are going to be very interesting in this race. And you see Marlon Patterson, he's being coached by Johnny Gray, and this was what Johnny Gray, the American record holder at 800 meters, always did as an athlete himself, and that's go out and make it an honest pace. Last year when the Ducks went 1, 2, 3, it was a very, very slow, controlled pace, and Patterson is not going to make it that way. Also, you see 2 Sun Devils, Brandon Bethke and Dylan Hatcher. Brandon Bethke, the defending conference champion at 5,000 meters, and he is a superior talent. And you can see 3 of the 4 Ducks are lingering in the back.
Which doesn't mean a whole lot in this event. But Centrowitz is stalking Patterson right now. So it's Patterson, Centrowitz, then back to Bethke.
And a big difference from this year to last, Barry, 59.4 for the first 400 meters. So we are seeing an honest, paced race. And right now, what is to be watched are where those other 3 Ducks are, because again, this is a critically important team race for Oregon. Centrowitz is not going to get involved with all the pushing and shoving that may occur in the back of that pack, and he's stalking Patterson.
So right now, it is Patterson, Centrowitz running up on Patterson's heels, running very comfortably.
And that's A.J. Acosta, the guy who gave it his all yesterday for the 42nd PR in the steeple. He has moved into 3rd. Marlon Patterson has moved into 4th, and that's Dylan Ferris, the sophomore from Stanford, who has moved into 5th. And still back in the pack is Mac Fleet. Now, Mac Fleet has the best 800-meter speed of any of them. As a high schooler in San Diego, as a sophomore, he won the state 800-meter title. So he is a very, very, very good kicker. And he's just hanging out in the back of that pack. So it'll be interesting to track what that freshman will do. Barry, we were watching the heats yesterday, and Mac Fleet pushed a runner from Washington State.
Yes.
Right in front of him, could possibly have gotten disqualified for that.
Well, Acosta looked like he was going to head up Patterson here, but now Patterson's taking a lead back from Acosta. Centrowitz runs 2nd. It's McNamara running in 3rd place right now.
And Acosta now going into the lead, taking it over Patterson. Centrowitz looks so relaxed. I noticed that as well yesterday. Let's not also forget about the crowd favorite, Mark Matuzak of Cal, running in his final conference championship. He's also a sub-4-minute miler. We have about 10 sub-4-minute milers in this race, and they just passed with 1 lap to go, 2:46. So somebody is really going to be kicking hard down the back stretch and home stretch. And you can see Centrowitz, he's chomping at the bit. He was just increasing his tempo slightly. Now the Ducks are 1, 2, and 3. Matt Fleet does not look good back there.
No, he doesn't look like he's going to make a move right now. Acosta took a look back over his shoulder, and what he sees is his teammate Centrowitz. And here comes Centrowitz, and Centrowitz passes Acosta. So now it's Centrowitz in the lead, making a move right now for Stanford is Andrew Berger.
No, actually, that's Dylan Ferris. That's Dylan Ferris that's moved into third, and Mark Matuzak of Cal is now moving up as well. Looks like McNamara is toast. But look at Matt Centrowitz fly down this home stretch.
Yeah.
Matty Centrowitz is in such tremendous shape, and Mark Matuzak is going to try to get onto the podium. Mac Fleet's coming in on the outside. I don't know if he has enough, but Oregon will need those points.
Well, Oregon gets first, second, and Matuzak will finish third for California. Centrowitz an easy win in the 1500.
He looked so good, Barry. I've got to think that he may win the NCAA championships.
All right, so Centrowitz backs up his win last year, wins it again as a sophomore. 3:41.6, the winning time for him. An easy win, 1-2 for the Oregon Ducks.
Any minute now, my ship is coming in. I'll keep checking the horizon.
The trip was to Scottsdale, Arizona with my girlfriend. The journey was seeing if she'd come back as my fiance.
There are 300 million journeys out there. One of them is yours. Journey on.
I remember dating and one after the other that was just unsuccessful. And I had a friend say, look, this eHarmony thing, it works. You should try it. It gave me hope because I'm like, you know what? It's not the method that I've been using. It's something new. It's something different.
eHarmony provides that way to meet somebody you're compatible with.
When you're with the right person, you're like, wow, this is exciting.
Feel the difference of being matched based on 29 dimensions of compatibility. And now review those matches free at eHarmony.com.
We welcome you back to the campus of the University of California here in Berkeley, California. It's graduation day all around the campus. Graduation weekend, as a matter of fact. But everywhere you look, caps and gowns. Not here, though. We're at the start of the women's 100-meter hurdles, and once again, looking for a competitive race. Shalina Clark, probably the favorite. She is in lane 5 from USC. Alongside her, Letitia Holden of Arizona. Inside, Lindsay Rowe of UCLA. But Kimyon Broom, Joanna, was something of a problem. Two-time champion, but didn't look real great yesterday.
Yeah, she's going for her third straight title, but yesterday she got out great for 3 hurdles, and then she just sort of faded to the back and just qualified at a slow time of 13:60. So I think she's battling a few injuries and coming back from those, and today I'd like, we'll see how she does in response, but I don't look for her to win. I think Shalina Clark is going to be our winner today.
And the other thing that Kimyon Broom has to deal with is that lane 8. It's right along a wall. You and I were talking about it yesterday. Very tough position.
Yeah, athletes don't like to run in lane 8, especially with hurdles, and this is her home track, and I can assume she never practices in lane 8.
But she doesn't. But today, that's where she's going to be, so all odds against her as the runners come to their mark. Shalina Clark in lane 5, Rowe, UCLA lane 3, Letitia Holden, Arizona, between Rowe and Clark. And then alongside her, Breon Tyson of Oregon, a great heptathlete. Tom talked about her abilities in the high jump, like Ashton Eaton, multi-sport athlete, multi-event athlete. Set. And we're underway. Clark got out really well. So did Broom. It is Clark and Broom now. Rowe coming out with the shoulder. Clark hit a hurdle, but she's still okay. Rowe in first place. It's going to be Rowe and Clark. Rowe is going to win it. Clark second. Close for third. I believe Jasmine Chaney of Arizona State got it.
Looked like, I think, was that Chaney or Rowe that crossed the line first?
It was Rowe that won. Clark second.
Yeah.
And Chaney third.
And Rowe matches her PR 13:25, which she ran against Clark at the UCLA-USC dual meet. She didn't look good yesterday.
So here's another look.
Yeah, she's very clean over the hurdles, and she's staying forward. She has a problem of not attacking the hurdles, but today she attacked, stayed forward, and she crosses the line first in what looks like an upset.
Yeah, I'll say. So Rowe follows up a good performance in her heat, defeats Shalina Clark, and right now she is with Krista Blanc. Krista.
Thank you, Barry. Well, Lindsay, congratulations. Pulling it a little upset, maybe, but maybe not to you. How were you feeling out there from the beginning?
I just feel really good. I just knew I had to go out there and focus on myself and just run my own race, and then I would be successful.
Was the timing there from the very beginning, or was it something that came as the race went along?
It's something that came from the beginning, and I just knew I had to just keep going and just hold them off as long as I could and just get to the finish first.
Tough competition, Lindsay. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Barry, back to you.
Bye.
Thanks very much, Chris. You know, the fact is, I thought Clark got out of the blocks great. So Lindsay Rowe just ran a perfect race. She defeats Shalina Clark. Jasmine Chaney of Arizona State finishes third, 3.24 for Lindsay Rowe, the winning time. So right now, let's turn our attentions to the field events once again. Tom, the men's hammer throw.
Well, this is Jason Lewis of Arizona State. He is a 3-event thrower, and he had a great day. On his second attempt, he went 2:17.10. This is Zach Middles. He's one of 3 brothers that have competed in this event in the Pac-10s. He was third the last 2 years, and once again, on his 4th attempt, 2:06.2, he was third again this year. Now, moving into the ring, this is Trey Henderson of USC, 5th last year. He's coached by the great Dan Lang, and on his 4th attempt, he went 2:19.6, took over the lead, and then he backed that up in round number 5 with this throw at 2:19.9. So Henderson finished first, and then it was up to Jason Lewis on his 6th and final attempt. Could he better what Henderson did? He was 2 feet behind. Very important points for the Sun Devils, so he came into the ring on his 6th attempt, and he had a foul. So Henderson of USC hangs on for the win. Middles finishes third for the 3rd consecutive year, and Jason Lewis of Arizona State was in 2nd.
Welcome back to Edwards Stadium here in Berkeley. Set now for the men's 110-meter high hurdles. Take a look at the lane assignments in this event, and we should point out lane 5, Brendan Ames, will not run in this event. He obviously tweaked himself in the 4x100 relay. He was the fastest qualifier, and that really kind of opens the door up for his next door neighbor and teammate Oscar Spurlock. Here is the Pac-10 meet record, Ryan Wilson back in 2000, holding the record of 13.4. Oscar Spurlock is the defending champion, but Ames had been outperforming him. Joshua Anderson of Washington State, really more known as an intermediate hurdler. There's Ashton Eaton of Oregon. He's out in lane 7 with a 14.06 qualifying time. Very capable. Alongside him is his teammate, David Kletch, and you're looking right now at Oscar Spurlock. Spurlock is the defending champion, as we said. Lane 1, Shane Moore. Lane 2, Amici Morton of Stanford, another guy to watch in this event. Jeremy Taiwo of Washington in lane 3. So Spurlock, lane 4, the defending champion. Anderson, better known as an intermediate hurdler, in lane 6. Eaton alongside Anderson, lane 7. Kletch of Oregon, and a former outstanding high school athlete here in Northern California, in lane 8. Just trying to see where the wind is coming from right now. It looks like it could possibly favor the runners by a little bit. It's probably actually a circular. The wind is kind of circling in here. As you look at, depending on where you look at the flags, you get a different read on the wind. Set. And we are underway. Great start by Spurlock, but a great start by Eaton as well. It is Eaton and Spurlock 1-2 right now. Eaton and Spurlock. Eaton ahead right now. It is Eaton and Spurlock 1-2. Ashton Eaton wins at Spurlock second, Anderson third.
Yeah, you know, notably Ashton Eaton yesterday, he would have qualified much faster than that 14.06, but he hit hurdles 5 and 6 so hard that it destroyed his race. Today, he was crisp and clean, and that is why he's the winner, and at a fantastic time.
Great start. Got a great start, as you can see, didn't he?
Oh, he got out well, and he is leaning into the hurdles and clearing them, and he's sprinting through. The difference between him and Spurlock, he's a little bit stronger than Oscar Spurlock. This is why he can beat him.
And here is the last hurdle, and from there a sprint to the finish, and that was no contest. Eaton wins it. And we talk about multi-event athletes, and Ashton Eaton, a guy, and Tom Fuhrer will talk about this a little bit more as we move along here, but this is a guy you might be looking right here as at the next Olympic decathlon champion. We'll talk more about him.
Stop your auto repair bills now. If you own a car, any make, any model, call to see if a service contract from StopRepairBills.com could save you thousands of dollars. Just call now or go to StopRepairBills.com. When you own a car, SUV, or truck, sooner or later it will need repair, and that can cost you thousands of dollars right out of your pocket. Just one transmission job could cost over $3,000. A new engine could cost over $4,000. But you won't have to pay a cent. Call now or visit StopRepairBills.com and put that money back in your pocket. This isn't a warranty. It's much better and costs less because you only pay for the coverage you need. You even choose the repair shop. Then we get them paid directly, so you don't wait to be reimbursed. The sooner you call, the sooner you're covered.
Call 1-800-582-8881. A free 5-minute call can save you thousands in auto repair. Call 1-800-582-8881 and stop paying repair bills now.
The Pac-10 Track and Field Championships are being brought to you by MFS Investment Management, creating institutional investments for financial professionals, their clients, and institutional investors since 1924. Take a look at the results in the men's high hurdles. Ashton Eaton of Oregon got a great start, ran a perfect race, 13:54. The defending champion Oscar Spurlock of USC finishes second ahead of Joshua Anderson of Washington State, who finishes in 14.07. Well, we talked earlier about the fact that this is a meet that goes on not for just this weekend, but going back to last weekend. We began with the women's heptathlon.
That's right, and this is Kaya Pinnick of Arizona State. She's a freshman, and she ended up finishing third. You see her here in the long jump and in the high jump. In the long jump, she was second in the competition at 18.8.5. Now, this is Ryan Crace of UCLA, highly recruited coming out of high school. She finished second in 5,426 points. She jumped 5.7 in the high jump. That was her best event. She also finished as the fastest ahead of Pinnick in the 800 meters. But the big story here, as it has been in the conference the last 2 years, is Breanne Tyson. Here you see her in the 200 meters. She won all 4 events on the first day, including a personal best of 5.11.5 in the high jump, which she bested twice yesterday in the open high jump, where she finished second. Now, she is from Humboldt, Saskatoon, and a likely competitor for Canada in the Olympic Games. She is the second Duck to win back-to-back heptathlon titles in this meet, behind only Kelly Blair, who later was an Olympian for Oregon. Now, this is the decathlon, more Ducks. This is Marshall Ackley. The conditions were rather poor both days. Sunny, windy, rainy, but Ackley was able to put it all together. His best event was the pole vault. He was third there at 15.7. And so, surmounting the elements in a meet like this is critical. This is Jeremy Taiwo. He puts the student and student athlete. His father, Joseph, the Pac-10 meet record in the triple jump. Jeremy had a great day, won the high jump at 6.8. He was second in the discus at 136.0. He finished second, but this is the man, Ashton Eaton. My gosh, he won by 600 points. He's the third to win the decathlon in 3 consecutive years in the Pac-10. Mike Ramos and Craig Brigham were the other. He won 7 of the 10 events, and he set a decathlon personal best in this event, the pole vault. He went 16.10 3/4. He also threw 162.11 in the javelin, 47.25 in the 400 meters. Another tremendous performance, and I believe, Barry, that Ashton Eaton could end up being an Olympic gold medalist in London in 2012.
Yeah, I'm going to the beach next week. I'm going to ask him if I could borrow his body. Here are the women's team scores right now as we stand. Oregon, 102 points ahead of Arizona with 79. Stanford back in third place at 50. SC at 45. 46. Arizona State 40.5. And then it's Washington State each at 35 and back on down to UCLA. So far, dismal performance for them at 20.5. Cal at 20 points. Oregon State has not scored, but it's good to see them here in the tournament. Once again, we turn our attention to the track and the women's 400. And Joanna, is this Keisha Baker and everybody else?
Without a doubt, Keisha Baker is the favorite here, and I look for her to run pretty fast. I think that her second and third, Ashley McLaughlin from UCLA and Dominique Malloy from Arizona State are going to be coming up. But yeah, this is going to be the all Keisha Baker show.
Yeah, well, again, we talk about the power of the Oregon team. Monique Henderson, 50.9 is the meet record. Could that be in jeopardy here?
50.9, it could be in jeopardy. If it was a little bit warmer, I would push more forward. But the sun is starting to come out, but it's a chilly sun, and so I don't know about the 50.9. But then again, Keisha Baker looks really good yesterday. So
well, she's not likely to be pushed either. That's the other thing. Here is Dominique Malloy of Arizona State, about whom you spoke. She and Ashley McLaughlin of UCLA, actually one of the most improved runners in the conference.
Absolutely, and Ashley's working also with Johnny Gray, so he's putting in a lot of work with these athletes, and I think that we're seeing the difference here, and we'll see a lot more of that today.
So they're at the marks for the start of the women's 400-meter dash. They'll stay in lanes all the way. They are off a fair start, and Baker immediately making up ground. You can see her pick up the stagger with the number 7 runner, and she's second runner in the 7th lane, and she's passed her, and she's about to pass the outside runner as well. So it is Baker, and it looks like from UCLA, McLaughlin running pretty well too, as she's made up the stagger on Malloy. So right now it's Baker, McLaughlin, Malloy. Baker running very easily into the final turn now. She's got about 150 yards to go here. And it's Baker running all by herself. Running in second place right now is McLaughlin of UCLA, and then it's out to Michelle Williams of Oregon right now in third place, but she's struggling a little bit. Easy win for Baker, just loping down the stretch. McLaughlin is going to finish second, and Williams will hang on for third for Oregon. So Oregon once again, first and third, and Baker an easy win, 50.76. In these conditions, how do you like it, Joanna?
That's amazing. I didn't know that she could do it, but I'm not surprised. Oh man, that was 50.76 is awesome.
And that's really without being challenged
All by herself. You know, she took out that first portion of the race so well that 50.76 is definitely something that we can see her doing. That 150 was incredible by her.
Really impressive performance by Baker. And, you know, looking out at lane 7, Michelle Williams comes up, gets third. Again, an impressive performance for the Oregon Ducks women.
Absolutely. You know, Oregon Ducks are here to win. They won last year. They want to win again, and they are showing that.
So Baker, again, just a tremendous performance. She'll look ahead now to the NCAAs, and who knows what happens after that, but a very, very bright future without question for the senior from Oregon. So here are the final results, and there was no doubt about it. Keisha Baker, 50.76. Ashley McLaughlin, 52.98. Michelle Williams of Oregon, 53.36. Well, we talked about Keisha Baker. She's the winner of the 400 meters, and she does so in meet record time. And Joanna, we were just discussing the fact that in these conditions and with the competition that she had, very unlikely. Guess what?
It was likely. She did it all by herself, and I'm excited to see what she'll do coming up.
Yeah, she's still got the 200 to run, and maybe even before by 4. The men's team scores, Oregon still leads by 109 to 55 over USC, but USC's strong events are coming up now.
Yes, they've got 3 guys in this 400 coming up. And so if these guys all do what they're supposed to do, and maybe if one of them can kind of push his way in there and get a surprise, USC be right back on track.
And those 3 USC runners, Bryson Nellam, who will be in lane number 4, his high school teammate Joey Hughes alongside him in lane number 5, Nate Anderson of USC in lane number 2. But there's plenty of other competition in here. 3 Arizona State runners in Sanford, Kramer, and Phillip. I mean, this is a grab bag, this race.
Absolutely. I think Sanford has the biggest edge, pushing Joey Hughes. And Bryson Nellam looked so good yesterday in his prelim, and it's just really good to see him back on track.
Yeah, it's a great story, of course. He was wounded in a shooting incident. And not too many runners were able to come back from an injury like that. Shot him in the leg.
Absolutely. Well, he was such a dominant runner, and he's so talented that he was likely to come back, and it's a blessing that we get to see him running back on this track.
You're looking at Donald Sanford right now of Arizona State, 46.3 to qualify here, but talking about Nellam again, he was a guy that won 4 events in the state championships, high school state championships in California back in 08, and he and Hughes, teammates at Long Beach Poly. I imagine they had a pretty good 4x4 relay team, huh?
Oh, state champions.
Yeah,
little something, something.
Of course, Long Beach Poly has produced so many track and field athletes, not to mention football players.
Certainly, certainly.
They're not called the Jackrabbits for nothing.
Yeah, perfect mascot for that school. Perfect.
So in the meantime, from the inside out, Spencer Chase of Stanford, lane 1. Nate Anderson alongside him, lane 2 from USC. Joel Phillip, one of 3 Arizona State runners in this. Lane 3, Bryson Nullum. In lane 4, Joey Hughes alongside him. Lane 5, Donald Stanford, Arizona State. Lane 6, Chad Barlow of Oregon will be in lane 7. And Dustin Kramer of Arizona State outside lane 8. Hughes looked very strong yesterday. And Roth in the 400 meters. And very close early on here. Nellum maybe picking up a little of the stagger. And inside of lane 2, Nate Anderson making a move on Phillip. So right now it's Nate Anderson running pretty well. And then outside it is Donald Sanford of Arizona State running very well. Also, now it's Hughes starting to make up some ground. It looks to me like Hughes, Sanford, and Nellum. And they'll turn for home. We'll get a better idea where things are. It's going to be Hughes on the lead, Sanford alongside him, Nellum in 3rd place. And Hughes running beautifully. Hughes striding out. And Sanford trying to make a move. The bigger Sanford cannot catch Hughes. Hughes is going to win it. Sanford going to be 2nd. Nellum finished 3rd in 45.16.
That's a huge PR. And would that be the national leader? That is incredible. What a run by Hughes. And you know, he took a while to get going. He kind of just eased out in that first 200 and made a move in that curve into that 250.
I mean, that was impressive. Very steady all the way. And Sanford, the bigger of the two, unable to catch him coming down the stretch. I mean, that was an excellent performance. And Nellum did well to finish in 3rd place, but a distant 3rd. And you could see Hughes come through. Well, we talked about times probably not being very fast in these conditions, and yet people are really lighting it up here right now. Krista's with the winner, Joey Hughes.
All right, Joey, congratulations. You dominated there at the end of that one. Tough competition. Coach said you've been most consistent in this 400. Why is that?
I don't know. I guess it's the God in me. You heard the song Mary Mary, but I just been blessed to run. It's my passion. So running and running and running. I'm so tired I can't even really think. I'm excited. I don't know.
And excited to run with your teammates here now at USC, but also a former teammate in high school as well. Mr. Nellum's back, I see.
Yeah, Bryson is one of the reasons I came to SC. So by him being able to practice with him still, it's like our 8th year running together. So it's like, you know, a tradition for me. I'm more comfortable at practice with him. It's a lot of help.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Barry, back up to you.
All right, a very impressive win for him. 45.16, the winning time for Joey Hughes. Donald Sanford, a really solid race. And Bryson Nellum, he really lit it up. 45.94 to finish in 3rd place. The winner, Joey Hughes. We're coming back.
Quality and value. Style. Performance. Sure, you want it all. You just don't want to spend it all. No problem. Just go with the brand voted #1 overall, Toyo Tires, for 7 of the last 9 years by people who know best. Independent tire dealers, just like me. So for top quality and top value, take it from the pros. Toyo Tires.
At Sit and Sleep, we think it's time to adjust your thinking about adjustable beds, because lifestyle adjustable mattresses aren't just for people with graying hair. They're for everyone, including couples who want greater freedom to read in bed while one person sleeps, and unlimited comfort options for different activities. At Sit and Sleep, you'll find the largest selection of adjustable lifestyle mattresses in the USA at the guaranteed lowest price, and sleep consultants who can custom fit you with just the right mattress. Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price, or your mattress is free!
Son, let's talk about the dinner you cooked for us last night.
Your food, it's so good.
You could cook professionally.
We think you should go to Le Cordon Bleu.
Where?
Le Cordon Bleu, the culinary school.
Experienced chef instructors who teach real-world techniques and encourage your creativity.
You'd make me so proud.
Just do what you love. Cook for a living. Call Le Cordon Bleu.
You're right.
Call Le Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Arts in Los Angeles for a free career guide. 1-888-907-1222. Call now.
Local sports, local connection. FoxSportsWest.com.
We welcome you back to the Pac-10 Men's and Women's Championships. Barry Tompkins, Joanna Hayes, Tom Fuhrer, and Krista Blanc alongside. We're looking at the campus here at the University of California, and we get an opportunity to look at the women's shot put contested yesterday. Tom?
Well, and you're seeing a really high-class competitor by the name of Julie Labonte. She's a freshman from Quebec, and she won the event 54.5½ on her first throw. Kelsey Jessup for Arizona trying to make it a sweep along with Elisa Haslam, and Arizona went 1-2-3 in this event. Craig Carter, the coach, has done a marvelous job. Not only did they get 1-2-3, they got fourth. So the Wildcats, Barry, scored 29 points in this event. Labonte first, Haslam second. She's the freshman. Jessup third. So Arizona, 2 freshmen in the top 3 and a total of 29 points. Long jump. This one was dominated a little bit by the Cardinal. This is Sarah Matthew on her first attempt. She was 4th last year, improved to 3rd this year. Arantxa King, a Bermudan Olympian in Beijing. 2nd last year, 2nd again this year, did 29.75. Now, Jamisha Youngblood, on her 2nd attempt, an Oregon school record, 21.9 in front of her family from San Pablo. Jamisha Youngblood runs a great anchor leg for the Ducks on the 4x1. We see her later in the triple jump today, and she pulls off a big win in the long jump, Barry.
All right, and that turns our attention to the women's 100. And, of course, once again, Joanna, we're looking at a girl from Oregon, and boy, can she run.
Amber Purvis is the class of this field. I mean, she's so smooth, she's so fast. We've talked about it before. She's one of the Purvis sisters, and they are also fast. Her younger sister right now is leading the nation in the 200 meters and I believe the 100. So we're going to see a great run today. The wind, I don't know. It could be in her face, it could be in her back, it could be both.
Nobody knows. I mean, it depends on where you look in this stadium. And who will compete with her? Perhaps Sarah Matthew of Stanford.
Yeah, we just saw Sarah Matthew in the long jump, and now she's here in the 100. And she comes in pretty well, and I think that she can definitely contend with her, as well as Carissa Livingston from Stanford. And let's not count out Judith Onyepanuka from USC, the senior.
And she's over in lane number 7. Mandy White will be alongside her, lane 8. So from the inside out, Dominique Lauderdale of Washington, lane 1. Sherelle Garrett, lane 2. Jasmine Cheney of Arizona State, lane 3. Sarah Matthew of Stanford, lane 4. Amber Purvis, the favorite from Oregon, lane 5. Carissa Livingston of Stanford, a freshman, lane 6. Judith Onyepanuka in lane 7. And Mandy White, Oregon, lane 8. They're at their marks. Purvis, lane 5, gets out very quickly. And we are underway, and it was Purvis out first. Running pretty well over in lane 8 is Mandy White. It's Purvis, and Purvis is going to win it. The race is going to be for second place. Purvis is going to win it. Matthew's going to finish second, Cheney third.
Nice finish for second. I mean, again, all Amber Purvis. But the race was for second, and 11:39 is her time. Very good, especially in these conditions as well. These girls, these athletes are really running well in these conditions.
Yeah, they really are. Here's another look. Look at the start.
Can I get you 1 second?
Pretty even start, actually.
Yeah, they all look pretty good getting out. I think she just had a slight edge, depending on the angle you're looking at.
And she gets into full stride really quickly.
Oh man, there's no catching her after that. As soon as she gets her turnover going, she's so powerful, and she's got her arms pumping, and she looks beautiful.
So Amber Purvis wins, and she's with Krista Blanc. Krista.
All right, Amber, congratulations to you. A sophomore this season. What's been different and better maybe for you this year compared to last year?
I'm a lot more focused, starting to do more speed work, and just having a good time.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, back up to you, Barry.
All right, thanks very much, Krista. So Amber Purvis does as advertised, wins in impressive fashion.
Absolutely.
Here are the final results. Purvis of Oregon wins 11.38 seconds. Sarah Matthew, nice finish for her for Stanford, 11.67. Jasmine Cheney finishes third, 11.74. And now we'll turn our attention once again to an event that took place yesterday, and that is the women's hammer throw. Tom, what do you got?
Well, actually, it was earlier today, Barry, the first event on the field, and this is C.J. Navarro of Arizona State, and she ended up finishing in the money there. Now, this is Lauren Chambers of USC. She's earlier this season, Barry, set the American junior record. She's from Kell High School in Marietta, Georgia. A little bit of a disappointment. She threw 206 to get the American junior record. Today she was at 195, but it was freezing out here in the morning. Now, this is Janie Goodbody, and boy, Barry, she had a rooting contingent on this morning with her. And as you can see from the Exmo camera, she is very, very quick in the ring, and she ended up getting it out there to 200 feet, 5 inches, and in front of a nice large contingent earlier this morning. Goodbody wins. It was on her first attempt. She salted away the competition early. And so Stanford wins the competition with Goodbody. Lauren Chambers of USC in second, her 195.2 on her 5th attempt, and CJ Navarro on her first attempt, 175.8.
Time now for the men's 100 meters, and we expect this to be a very competitive race, too. Two of the competitors who were supposed to be here will not. Lane 3 is open. That was supposed to be Marlon Murray. He got injured, remember, on the anchor leg of the 4x100 relay, which we began things with here. And then lane 7 is open. Lawrence Trice, who yesterday in the 200-meter heat pulled up lame, so he is not going to go in lane 7. You look at the meet record, 10.03 by Ado Bolden of UCLA back in 1996. God, hard to believe it's that long ago, isn't it? This race should be decided in the center of the track, and in the center of the track, Ashton Eaton of Oregon. You can see what he's done here. Ashton Eaton has 30 points so far. USC has 86 and Arizona State has 76. So Ashton Eaton would be in the hunt for the team title. Ahmad Rashad, second in the 2009 NCAA championship and probably considered the favorite here. He is the defending champion of the Pac-10 as well. And alongside him, James Alaka of Washington, who showed very well in both the 100 and 200 in the heats yesterday. So Rashad lane 4, Eaton lane 5, Alaka lane 6. On the inside, it's Brandon Smith in lane 2. LaMichael James of Oregon, the football player, out in lane number 8. Over 1,000 yards for James as a freshman tailback at Oregon last year. And we're underway, and a good start for Eaton and Rashad. It's Eaton right now. Rashad second, Alaka third. It is going to be Rashad now passing Eaton. Rashad is going to win it. Eaton second, Alaka third. And the time 10:19 in a swirling win.
Absolutely, yeah, that was a great time. And you know, Ashton Eaton gave him a run for his money for 60, but Ahmad Rashad did what he normally does. He moves away at the last 40 meters, and he made it clear that he is the 100-meter champion.
Boy, no doubt.
Ashton, you're a great athlete, but Ahmad's like, I am a pure sprinter. You will not beat me in my 100 meters. But that was a great race. Ahmad looks smooth. He looks comfortable the entire way. And coming into this race, I think he knew he had to win this race in a great time too.
Yeah, it was an honest race. You know,
Yes.
both got out well, no trouble for either one. And as you said, Rashad just showing his pure sprinter speed to defeat the outstanding athlete Ashton Eaton. A good race by Alaka as well. Let's go to Krista Blanco, the winner. Krista.
All right, well, Ahmad, you are a three-peat in this event. What is it about this sprint that you seem to be able to dominate?
I'm not sure. It's just the end of my race is just really good. I don't get out as powerful as some sprinters, but the end of my race is really strong, so I think that's the strong point, which makes me run the 100 really well.
Ashton Eaton from Oregon was right there with you. What was it like going against him, and how about the rest of your team?
You know, Ashton is a great competitor. He's won a lot of events today, and I knew he was going to push me, so him being right there helped me to finish through the race.
And the team event, I know that's important to you guys.
Definitely.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Barry, back up to you.
All right, thanks very much, Krista. Here then are the final results. Officially 10.2 for Ahmad Rashad. Ashton Eaton finishes 10.33. James Alaka of Washington third in 10.42. Plenty of action still to come here. We'll turn our attention to the women's 800 when we come back.
Spanning the West, 10 preeminent universities create a rich learning experience as vast and diverse as the territory itself, where student athletes strive for academic excellence and compete at the highest level. where leaders flourish and success grows right along with the reputation that comes from winning more NCAA championships than any other conference.
Ever wonder who's searching for you?
Who's searching for moi?
Go to MyLife.com, the internet's leading people search site. Just type in your name and see if someone is searching for you for free.
Oh, I know. My garage band, circa 1985.
At MyLife.com, there are millions of unclaimed messages. You could have messages waiting for you right now. Go to MyLife.com, type in your name, and see if someone is searching for you right now for free.
We welcome you back to Edwards Stadium. We're on the campus of the University of California here in Berkeley. This is the 2010 men's and women's track and field championships. And let's take us back to the men's javelin, Tom.
This is quite a story, Barry. This is Cooper Thompson. On his first attempt, he throws 235 feet 1 inch. You say, well, big deal. Well, he just picked up the javelin in January of 2009, and then on his second attempt, well, he just threw a 20-foot PR, which is unheard of, 20-foot personal best. Then Cyrus Hostetler, on his second attempt, goes to 253 feet 4 inches. He sets a Pac-10 meet record. This is Kyle Nielsen of Washington, the Canadian champ, coached by his dad, Tom. He finished third place at 239.7. Hostetler, Pac-10 championship record. Thompson, 20-foot PR, loses by 2 centimeters, and Nielsen third. Now, the men's shot put. You see perhaps the finest individual athlete, inclusive of Ashton Eaton, Ryan Whiting. He has already been on a U.S. national team. On his first throw, he gets out to 70 feet 1/4 inch. Now, this is his teammate, Jason Lewis, who saw him earlier today. He scored 20 points for the Sun Devils in this meet. He, on his 5th attempt, went 59.10.5 for 3rd place. Jordan Clark, part of the great triumvirate of Arizona State throwers, coached by David Dumble. On his 5th attempt, the freshman from Anchorage finished 2nd. Ryan Whiting closes off the competition, duplicates what he did in the 2nd round at 70 feet 1/4 inch. There were 3 podium sweeps on the day yesterday, these Sun Devil throwers among them. Whiting is a structural engineering major who has got an academic postgraduate scholarship and will be going to Penn State for graduate work, Barry.
Pretty impressive guy. Now the women's 800, and this one we expect to be a really competitive event.
It's going to be fun, Barry. Sophia Oberg of Cal could be the one favorite for Cal on the track. Look at the team score, Barry. I think Oregon wouldn't have to run another race, and they would win the meet here.
Dominance. Arizona's 2nd right now at 80, Stanford at 70. Here are the lane assignments for the women's 800. And as we said, Tom, this is a grab bag, this event.
It is. Now, Buckman is the defending champion. She's out on the outside, and Joanna, she, of course, earlier won the 1,500 meters.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how she comes back from that. But these Oregon runners, they run so many distance races. I think she'll be fine.
And this is Christina Rogers of Arizona. She looked very impressive in the heats yesterday, and she might be somebody that can break up the Doug sweep. But I also like Oberg, personal best of 2:03.99. There she is. Freshman. She came to Cal because she likes the international atmosphere here on the campus of Berkeley, Barry.
Probably likes Bolt Law School, too.
Good point.
Or at least her parents do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. High school champion in Sweden and before the home folk here, or at least her current home. Anybody's guess here in this race. They'll stay in lanes until they get around the first turn.
And remember, Barry, there are 3 Oregon Ducks in this race. Ann Kesselring is a very, very good competitor, part of the international field here. She's a freshman from Germany, and she won her heat in 2:06.89 yesterday. So she also ran a personal best over 1,500 meters a couple weeks ago.
It's going to be Rogers who's going to lead them as they come now into more toward the rail, and Rogers is the leader. Alongside her,
Buckman is right there, Barry. She's tucked in 2nd. She's not doing the leading like she did before.
Yeah, and Oberg started in the back, and now she's moving up outside, about running 4th or 5th right now.
And the other duck in there is that Kesselring from Germany, the freshman. Very bunched up field, Joanna. It could be anybody's race here, as we expected. Oberg making a move on the outside.
Absolutely. They all look like a nice little bunch together. We'll see what they come through in this 400.
So it's going to be Oberg and Rogers They're 1-2. Kesselring running in third place right now.
61.4 for the first 400, Barry.
Buckman running outside. She's going to have to run a lot further than everybody else, but she looks strong.
She does. I am so surprised at how well she's running this meet. This is her fourth race over 2 days, Barry. But Rogers, really, like she did yesterday, she's taking that pace-setting task, and now it looks like both she and Kesselring have broken away, and I'm surprised that Oberg on her home track here isn't making a stronger move.
No, in fact, she's fading to the back right now, so it's going to be Rogers, Kesselring coming up on Rogers' shoulder now. Buckman running in third place. And now the test is for Kesselring. Will she be able to get by Rogers on the turn here? She does. Kesselring is going to take the lead with Rogers right on her shoulder. Kesselring and Rogers. Kesselring, as Rogers looks to be tying up a little bit, Kesselring is going to win, I believe. Rogers trying to get that one last gas back. It is going to be Kesselring and Rogers, and Buckman is going to finish third. So again, 1-3 for the Oregon Ducks.
And 6, Barry. 1-3 and 6.
And Kesselring comes all the way from Germany to go to Eugene, gets the congratulations from Christina Rogers of Arizona, who I thought ran a pretty solid race.
She did. You know, she went out and pushed that pace, Barry, and in this real swirling wind condition, that's quite a task.
Caught her on the final turn, and there was some question as to whether or not she was going to be able to get by her. I thought Rogers tied up a little bit coming down the stretch, but then got a second win.
Looked much more uncomfortable. Kesselring just looked more smooth coming down, and Rogers was tying up.
And at the finish, Kesselring wins it for the Oregon Ducks. So the Ducks have won both the 1500 and the 800, and that is not a big surprise.
Not at all, Barry. The Duck machine, the Duck dominance rolls on.
And Kesselring is your 800-meter champion this year. For Oregon, she finishes in 2:04.36. Christina Rogers of Arizona, front runner all the way. 2:04.50 to finish second. And Zoe Buckman, who already had won the 1500, finishes third in 2:05.51. Here are the men's team scores. 14 of the 20 events now completed in Oregon, still with a big lead. But USC at 96, they're at least in sight. Arizona State at 76, then it's Washington, UCLA, California at 49, ahead of Stanford by a point. Washington State and Arizona way back, only 10 points on the men's side. The men's 800 meters now, and here we're looking for a tactical race.
We are, Barry. The conditions have gone south, and it is shaping up as a tremendous battle amongst the top two in the NCAA this year in lane 5, Corey Prim, and in lane 6, the Olympian Andrew Wheating. And Wheating is running only this event, not the 1500. So this sets up as a mano-a-mano.
Prim and Wheating, and you can see Joaquim Cruz, the meet record holder, 1:45.12, and that record has been around for a long time. And Andrew Wheating at 1:49.
And Barry, who could forget, and hold it right here. Watch Wheating right here and where he is in the race. He's currently 6th. This is the 2008 Olympic Trials in Eugene, one of the most famous races in American track and field history. Watch how far back he is. In the lead is Nick Simmons. Wheating trying to make the team in the final home stretch. He goes through the entire gauntlet and finishes second. The only collegian to make the U.S. Olympic team, and a stunning performance. Ever since then, he has been a favorite. He has been an inspirational leader of this Oregon team. He's been injured quite a few times since then, but he runs like the old racehorse Silky Sullivan, Barry.
Yep, I remember him.
He will come from behind, and he did it the Pac-10s last year in that 1500 that we saw, and that was all for team points. He didn't care about winning. It was for the team. This is Corey Prim. He has flourished, Joanna, under Johnny Gray. He was a top high school runner, had kind of plateaued. What has Johnny done with him?
Well, Johnny has basically taught him how to run an 800, and he, Corey says Johnny's been a mentor to him, and I think that's part of it. It's a big part of it. As a coach, you want them to look up to you and understand that you know what you're talking about.
So they're at their marks for the 800. They'll run in lanes, as we said, until they get around the first turn. Prim right now, lane number 5, running right alongside Wheating. I doubt they'll run alongside him for long. Prim looks like he wants to go to the front here.
He's really increased his tempo, Barry. In other words, his stride turnover is much, much faster. The cadence much faster. Let's not also forget on the outside Elijah Greer from Lake Oswego in Oregon. He was the top high school runner as both a junior and a senior. And I know that he has enjoyed running under the tutelage of Andrew Wheating.
He's running in 4th place right now.
And Wheating back in 6th, no surprise there. There was a question as to whether Wheating had a slight injury because Vin Lananna, the Oregon coach, knowing how important the team battle is, has held him only in this one race.
It's Travis Thompson running up on Prim, and then the other UCLA runner, Scott Crawford, runs in 3rd place ahead of Wheating. Greer now 4th, Hassan 5th, or rather 5th, and Hassan 6th.
53.5, and Travis Thompson truly is one of the most improved runners in the Pac-10 this year. And Prim really battling that win right now. Wheating looks so comfortable in either place.
Thompson's going to push Prim here. Thompson's going to take the lead.
And here comes Wheating. He's making that kind of patented move with those long strides where he's 6'5", Barry. He looks like Michael Phelps.
He does. He looks like he can reel this field in anytime he wants. And he's really moving up on the pack right now. Prim coming back on Thompson, and Prim is going to get by Thompson, but Wheating is stalking in 3rd place. They come to the final turn.
And Barry, Corey Prim looked over at Thompson, but he's looking the wrong way. Here comes Andrew Wheating.
And Wheating coming up on the shoulder and just blows by Prim. Coming up also very quickly is Joe Abbott of Washington State.
And Elijah
going to beat him for 2nd, and here's Greer. Greer's going to get 2nd. Wheating wins. Greer 2nd. Abbott 3rd.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Elijah Greer, the freshman. Look at that. That is an emotional moment between these two because they trained together. I can't believe that finish by Elijah Greer. Greer Wheating.
You and I were sitting in front of his family yesterday.
Exactly.
Because they're very excited. You might have just heard a screaming voice behind us, and that is his mom. Here's the finish.
And you can see Greer isn't even in the picture, and Wheating just powers. Boy, that's the best I've ever seen him look. And there's Greer coming from the back.
So Wheating, no doubt about it, win. Look at Greer come hard to finish 2nd. And a nice race by Abbott of Washington State.
Brilliant performance down the stretch by Abbott.
Well, a race that's set up for the kickers, and it was the 3 kickers who finished 1, 2, 3. So the 2 Oregon runners, Wheating and his protege, if you will, Elijah Greer, finished 1, 2 in the 800. Very good race. Wheating, 147.7.
For Carol.
For my wife.
For my mom. For every pink bucket of grilled or original recipe, KFC makes a 50-cent contribution to Susan G. Komen for the cure. Together, we could make the largest donation in Komen history to help end breast cancer forever.
This is the card that bought the saw, that cut the lumber,
that built the extra space I needed to store more produce,
that she sold to me to make my menu more organic.
Introducing Ink from Chase, the card that helped make it all happen. Because it's accepted in twice as many places worldwide as American Express, with reward points worth 25% more when redeemed for air travel. Make your mark with Ink. Go to chase.com/ink. Chase what matters.
Women's 400-meter hurdles now, and 2 of the really outstanding young runners in the Pac-10 conference in this race.
Oh, yeah, again, Turquoise Thompson, the freshman from UCLA, and Dalilah Muhammad, the sophomore out of USC, who was the runner-up here last year. And both of these women, either one of these women can win this race. I think it's going to come down to the mental focus because this wind is swirling, this race is going to be tough, and the person who comes off 10 strongest is going to win this race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And 10 is downwind, but the backstretch, and you heard Wheating talking about that, is right in your grill.
which can be a problem when it comes to step patterns and 400 hurdlers, because you come out, you think you're going to run a certain way, and the wind hits you and throws you off. If you stutter step, that really can become a major problem. So we'll see how well they adjust to this wind.
Yeah, and young runners. Thompson just a freshman, and as we said, Dalil Muhammad just a sophomore. Others in this race, Ryan Crace of UCLA. She's out in lane number 7. Kea Pinnick, a freshman from Arizona State, lane 3. Georgianne Moline, I should say, in lane 3. And we're underway. Very even start, very even race to the first hurdle. On the inside, actually, Lindsey Pearson got the first hurdle first. Now running well is Muhammad out in lane number 7. It's Muhammad picking up runners as she comes along, and now Muhammad with a clear lead here. Muhammad running second is Thompson. It is Muhammad, a couple feet, I believe, ahead of Thompson. Thompson now making a pretty good move on the outside. We've come to the final turn. It is Muhammad, Thompson second. Muhammad running very smoothly, not doing any of the stutter steps that Joanna talked about. It's going to be Muhammad with Thompson. Muhammad, now Thompson starting to come up a little bit on the shoulder of Muhammad. It is going to be Thompson and Muhammad. Very close as they come to the finish line. Thompson passing Muhammad, and Thompson wins it. Muhammad second. Finishing third was Crace.
Amazing that Turquoise was able to hit the 10th hurdle and recover and pass Dalila Muhammad. And like I said, mental focus. And Turquoise wanted it in 56.95. That is a personal best for her, and it was an amazing race. She struggled also at hurdle 7.
So she wins it in the final sprint over Muhammad. A great race, very competitive race, and considering the conditions, I think pretty good time too.
Absolutely, 56.95. I never wanted to run in the wind with 400 hurdles.
Yeah, very difficult. And an event that is so precise, but she wins it in the sprint. Turquoise Thompson, well, you talked about her at the beginning of this program. She hits the last hurdle and still doesn't seem to bother her, and she's with Krista Blanc.
Turquoise, congratulations. What a race for you. The wind had picked up. Was it a factor at all?
It definitely was a factor, but I try not to think too hard about it and just run it like the wind didn't exist.
Your mom's been your coach your entire career. You're a freshman now at UCLA. How's the adjustment been getting the college system down?
Oh my goodness, you wouldn't even believe. It's definitely hard. Like, college is no joke. It's definitely a big upgrade. Not to say, you know, that the training I was getting from my mother wasn't already great, but college is a whole nother level.
Well, congratulations. It looks like you got down pretty well here.
Thank you.
All right, Barry. Joanna Hughes, I think, has been working with her as well, rather.
Well, she ran a brilliant race here today. Did not run like a freshman. Of course, in the genes, her dad was a 400-meter runner. Don ran at UCLA. Doesn't seem like all that many years ago to me. So she wins it 56.92 in really tough conditions. We look ahead at the men's 400-meter hurdles. Before we get there, let's take a look back on the long jump competition from yesterday, Tom.
One of the most dramatic competitions at this meet. This is Hamed Suleiman of Cal. He's a freshman from Deer Valley High School in Antioch. And on his third attempt, he got out to 24.7 1/4, a nice place for the hometown kid. Now this is Ashton Eaton on his second attempt, 25.3 1/2. And Barry, he had thought he had salted this away on that jump. He figured the competition was over. Little did he know, Brandon Ames of USC, a monster personal best on his 5th attempt. He gets out to 25.7 1/4. So what does Eaton do? He peels off his sweats, he warms up again, he goes down the runway on the last attempt of the competition, and he wins at 25.7 1/2 to take first place and become the first Oregon Pac-10 long jump champion since Lattenberry in 1990. Eaton, 1 centimeter victory over Ames.
Barry, another Oregon football player.
There you go. There, I knew you'd like that.
We turn to the 400-meter hurdles. This is a terrific event, and this is almost deja vu with Joshua Anderson, who broke the high school intermediate hurdle record, and then that had been a record that held for 22 years, and then Reggie Wyatt comes along a couple years later, does it again.
Well, and one of the interesting things, Barry, as you see the 2009 Pac-10 champion Joshua Anderson, good chance that he could break the meet record here, Joanna.
Absolutely. He's running so well. He's a national leader at 49.11. And even with these conditions, we saw Turquoise do it. And he's so strong. I think he can get out there and really attack these hurdles. He's very experienced and very determined.
There's a look at Reggie Wyatt.
Yeah, he's got Reggie Wyatt behind him, who is also very determined. He lacks in experience, but I think that he's going to be stalking Joshua, and it's also going to be interesting to see what Amici Morgan from Stanford can do as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, Amici Morgan is another guy, while you get to talking about Wyatt and Anderson, they're both terrific, but they better be looking back over their shoulders too, like Satchel Paige once.
And he's in lane 4, so he's behind them both, so he can kind of fill out the race and come off hurdle 8 and see if he can attack. But I think this is going to be all Anderson.
I think so too. Underway in the 400-meter hurdles for men. Look at Anderson right out quickly. Anderson has already made up the stagger. And Anderson with a sizable lead early on here. So it is Anderson with the lead.
Reggie just made a nice move, so now they're close, they're almost neck and neck.
And Morton is coming up also. Anderson, and I think Morton may be in second place right now. It is Anderson and Morton running very close. Anderson and Morton, Anderson with the lead. Morton running second, and Wyatt running in third place. Anderson over the final hurdle in a race to the finish line. Anderson's going to win it. Morton of Stanford second, and Wyatt a struggling third.
48.6, and that is a Pac-10 record for Joshua Anderson. What an incredible race he ran. What an incredible strength he had through the entire thing. He took it out with the intention on winning.
Tremendous race. A tremendous race all the way around. And give it up for Morton. I mean, we talked about him, and he ran a pretty darn good race.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there. Like I said, he was behind him. He watched him run. He made his move going into the turn, and he was ready. He said, hey, you know what? I'm not scared of anyone here. I'm going to go ahead and go for what I can.
And that's the way he ran.
Absolutely. You know, Reggie Wyatt faded, especially in the last about 50, 60 meters. He faded towards the back. But again, all Anderson's day. What an incredible race by him. And easy, too, through the finish.
Well, Joshua Anderson is indeed the man in the 400-meter hurdles. He proves it once again in the biggest event of the year so far. Three-time champ.
Freedom of choice. It's what makes this wide open country of ours so great. So whether you're into paved roads, dirt roads, or no roads, Toyo makes an open country tire that's just right for you. No matter where the road takes you.
Give your bedroom a spring makeover at Living Spaces, LA's largest furniture store. While supplies last, get 50% off the Wilmington 4-piece bedroom, now just $4.95. Save 50% on the Ethan 4-piece set, now just $6.95. Or save 50% on the Sable 4-piece set, now just $11.95. Only at Living Spaces, where you can buy it today and enjoy it tonight.
Living Spaces.
It's Toyota's National Sales Event, the perfect time to get the Toyota you've always wanted. And for a limited time, get a free auto maintenance package when you buy or lease any new Toyota. The 2011 Camrys are here. Now get 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2011 Camry. Or save thousands with 0% financing for 60 months on a new Corolla. Toyota's National Sales Event, going on now. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
Junior Dodger Show, Sunday at 12 on Prime Ticket.
Welcome back to Edwards Stadium here on the UC Berkeley campus. Watching the men's and women's track and field championships. Let's take a look at the women's scores to date, and Oregon just running the table. Arizona did very well in some of the weights. 92 points in second place. Stanford has 80 to be in third place. USC a distant 69 ahead of UCLA, ASU, Cal, Washington State, and Washington. And now we come to the women's 200 meters, and again, you have to look at the competitors from Oregon here.
Oh, you got to look at them. You got to look at Amber Purvis and Keisha Baker. And you know what's funny is you know, Baker won the 400, Amber won the 100. They both ran 23:18 yesterday, so they are meeting in the middle right now.
And there is a look at Keisha Baker. Was brilliant, setting a meet record in the 400 not too long ago, and Amber Purvis won the 100 for fun, so this is kind of the showdown race between these two. Who else can pose a threat? Anya Panuka of USC in lane number 4. Jasmine Chaney, who's actually had a pretty good event here today. She finished in 3rd place in a couple of events. She is between Baker and Purvis. They'll run a good portion of this with the wind at their back, although the wind seems to have calmed down at least for the moment. Baker lane 5, Purvis lane 7, Chaney between them. And we're underway. Good even start. And it is in lane 7, Amber Purvis. Amber Purvis coming off the turn hard. And it is going to be Purvis in the lead. Chaney running very well right now. Chaney running ahead of Baker. Now here comes Baker. And Chaney staying stride for stride. Purvis going to win it. Baker coming hard now at the finish line. Purvis first, Baker second, Chaney third.
Purvis ran an excellent race. From the gun, she took the lead and didn't look back. And, you know, out in lane 7, you have to do that. You can't wait for anyone to go. And she finished strong, and Baker also finished strong. I wasn't sure coming off the turn how much she's going to have left after that 400, but she's strong and she had a lot left, and she went and got that 2nd place for the Ducks.
Yeah, Chaney was sticking with her pretty good. Looked like she might be able to handle her for 2nd place. There was no doubt about who was going to win the race.
Oh, no, that sprint speed was all for Amber Purvis. And, yeah, Chaney was right with her, but I think the strength of Baker is what she outkicked Chaney for the 2nd place.
So again, an Oregon sweep, 1-2. Feels like we've said that before, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going to probably say it again.
Yeah, I think we might. So Amber Purvis, a local product out of the East Bay here, and we talked about the Purvis family, and she has a sister, of course, who is the #1 high school runner and sprinter in America, and she's going to be going to Miami, and then a cousin at the University of Michigan. Purvis, 23-1 to win it. Keisha Baker, 23-41. Oregon sweep.
Barry, back to the men's discus. It's been a busy weekend for Jason Lewis of Arizona State. David Dumble's throwing crew having a marvelous performance. Lewis spins out in the 3rd round to 188.1. He would end up finishing in 3rd. Now,